Boyish! Today I woke up in the morning and I saw one of the most bizarre news in Flemish history. Dat is rit. One of the most bizarre news I've ever seen. In the history of Flamengo. Filipe Luís won from the mature 8-0. 8-0. The first game had already won from 3 for the semifinal of the Carioca Championship. Qualifying the Flamengo for the final of the Carioca Championship. And the coach was fired by the Flemish management. Dat is the flag of Brazilian football. Luís, who last year was champion of the Liberators. Brazilian champion for Flemish. Year had an unhappiness the season early because of the World Cup. Is lost the Super Cup to Corinthians in single game. And the great vexation itself was again. Where did you lose here in Argentina by 1-0? Be a team much inferior to the Flamengo team. Now that it would take you. The resignation. Already in early March. With a score. A historic 8-0 rout. With 4 goals from Pedro. A goal against the Madureira team. In the Madureira team. Lanus team was also as weak as they lost. Now the guy won. We are not talking about futsal, people. Is it more common today to have a score of the guy won a Carioca Championship semifinal? After all now, in single game against Flaflu, Flemish's biggest rivals, the guy was punished by being fired. People do not. Possible that I know the Flamengo, any coach who comes now, will keep fighting up there. Will fight for titles and all. That's something Filipe glows. Will want to become Flamengo coach again. Considered to be able to take over Atletico de Madrid. Archer of he will probably take over Atletico de Madrid. Appearance as Simeone, who stayed 15 years. Of the Spanish club. Doing good jobs. Competing with a top team. One of the 2 biggest powerful teams in the world. Madrid and Barcelona. And the guy is practically sneaking out of the Flamengo. The guy wasn't just Flamengo champion as a coach. Won everything for the Flamengo. Antegui. Just yesterday he won 8-0 at the Maracana. And was sent away. I can't understand. The Flamengo, finally Portuguese, of directors. Dointis, do you give? Tocoaches, Brazilians, that if in Flemish you win you're out. And if you don't do what we want, you are out, because it makes no sense. If you let Filipe Luís lead the team in a semifinal, and the guy gives a winning answer from 8-0, shows that the Flamengo team had blood on its eyes. Fucking for having lost the recovery. Fucking for having lost the Super. The guy wins 8-0 and gets fired. Meto. I think it's even a disrespect to the I've told you several times that Filipe shines. Y soberbalued. Vite media, not all. But at no time did I say he's a bad coach. Inclusive, he has everything to be a giant coach. And with that, he already has a Brazilian captain. A Liberators, a Brazil Cup. And the guy leaves the Flamengo at the beginning of the year due to total internal and the crowd that went there to make a joke in the court, winning 8-0 from the mature. People yagre. I cannot understand Brazilian football. I'm a Basque. Who am I to talk about coach? Coach Fernando Diniz, who missed the Brazil Cup, was vice champion, stayed in the Basque, and was just sent away because, in the Brazilian Championship, 10 games in 12 that he had played. Understood. Now Filipe shines with this match with who he's delivering for Flamengo. As much as he has been addiction to single game, practically won his single game and one was back game. Flamengo Tava at the beginning of the season. still couldn't count on all the players, because it has to have the time regulation. Take him, Lord. Jorgenho was not able to play 90 minutes. Anyway, drags either. That yesterday the guy goes for a walk in the Maracana and was sent away. There must be some coach there already, so speaking the name of the Leonardo Garden. Even I had heard the news that the Leonardo Garden was traveling to Brazil. He was probably already coming be able to negotiate with the Flemish. Filipe Luís yesterday played an asshole role. Sem saber, take the guy out of the soccer for the guy to go there to the Maracana, to the edge of the countryside. Because the Flamengo crowd. I was screaming that it was a team without shame. The guy paid off. 1-8-0. Did not take any goal from the mature clash. And the guy was sent away. People, this is a lot of intelligence. Not possible. Have to see the question of the Flamingo's termination fine. Depending on the termination fine of Filipe Luís, how many millions was, because he just renewed his contract. Now it's how the Flamengo gets that one. I don't know, 5 million rescissory fine. It's like taking 5 million already tore and throw it in the garbage. Already to drive the Flamengo on Sunday, who expected to at least finish the Carioca Championship. Let Filipe Luís drive the Flamengo. In the final, he managed to reach. You fired a coach. Man, for me, this is unacceptable. You fired a coach in a championship where he managed to go to the final, winning 8-0. I just saw something similar happen to it with Olive Grove in 2000. But then the Basque was still in the semifinals of competitions. Oh, Santana is gone. And then, yes, it is. Led the against Snow Catano in the final of the Brazilian Citizen of 2000, the Joe Avalanche Cup, and also led the later in the final against Palm Trees on that historic turn. Now a coach win 8-0 on a Monday. The time and play the final on Sunday. Just not being fired. I think this is the first time this has happened. Although in Flamengo, it has been happening this week. 2 stories like this of gigantic vexation. Lose to Lanus at Maracana, an investment team. Mockery near the Flamengo. Anten! Send your coach away. After he wins 8-0 in the semifinals of a team. People is bizarre. I literally now understand why Brazilian football is administrative and technical. It's getting more and more behind. That's why everyone wants to go to Europe. And even the big players want to play in the Premier.